to look at freehand geometry, but first I want to say that this is going to begin in 4th, or for many teachers, they're going to choose to begin it in 5th grade. In the realm of all of the forms that are going to come all the way through, there's going to be this very slow, methodical increase of challenge and difficulty relating to the age and developmental need of the child. So when we talk about all of the different form drawings that are going to occur, we have the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd grade who are going to be drawing, by and large, linear forms. And each form is going to be presented to the child not as a thing, because what could we say this is? Let's draw a castle wall. All of the forms that are being brought to the young child are being brought that this is only the end manifestation of chalk on a board or pencil on a paper of movement. So the first 3 grades, form drawing is not about the form. You may end up, as Brett has at the back of his classroom, beautiful colored forms, shaded, outlined, gorgeous. That's just the end result of the work that has been done leading up to that fixed, dead form. What comes before it is going to be a lot of movement, either whole body physical movement, walking the form, climbing the form, going down, coming back up again, tracing it with your finger, drawing it on your desk partner's back. All of these different physical movements are going to occur before we get to this. And this is just the final manifestation of it. Okay, and this is really important. If you are only drawing a form as a picture, and that's the role of it and the goal of it, then you're missing the larger point, that we are trying to immerse in the child this sense of spatial awareness to the world. And that includes going forwards, going backwards, going sideways. And if you're a school that does not have eurythmy, it's even more important that you're bringing these form drawing movements into the classroom and really move them. And oh, there's the drawing, it's the end. It's the last couple of minutes. And they may want to draw the form over and over and over again, and that's great. But the movement has to be there first in their bodies. Yeah? So, 1st through 3rd grade, we're going to have ever complexed forms. They're going to go from the linear forms into a series of forms that are overlapping and into forms that have loops and whatnot. So there's many forms. And all of them will be practiced. You may include a story. You may have, I had in 1st grade a brother and sister, and they were my storyline for all of my form drawings. And they would go out on adventures every day. And their adventures would become the forms for that lesson. So there are excellent books out there on form drawing, giving you lots of examples. But again, that's just going to be the end of the process, the end of the line. And all of the physical work that went up to it needs to be in place prior to that, okay? So when we get into 4th grade, or for some of you 5th grade, if you're spending a lot of time in 4th grade doing Celtic knots, then 5th grade would be when you would begin looking at the geometric forms. But for some of you, it might be halfway through 4th grade. You have to decide that. So there's a place to begin with the early forms, and that is looking at comparison and the archetype. So we are bringing to the child at this age the beginnings, and again, back for the kindergarten teachers, the curriculum is such a linear wave of events. And every one of them is so amazing. You know, when you get to 8th grade and you look back and you realize how many things started a seed here and then grew here, and then it's not harvested until 6th or 7th grade or 8th grade. So there's all these things that are being planted, sown along the way, that will come back to you later. So you have these early form drawings. And then you have these middle years where you're going to start to ask the child to bring something out of themselves. You're going to ask them to identify a circle or walk a circle. But now, instead of you being the one who creates for them this imagination, this image, this movement, now you're going to start asking them, drawing out of them, create this for me. Create a circle. What is a triangle? Does it have equal sides? And all of these beginnings of observational discernment are going to turn around a few years later in all of your phenomenological physics work. So what you sow in 4th and 5th grade with geometry and with other classes, but particularly with geometry, is a sense of them starting to cultivate within what am I looking at and how can I best describe it. So you're asking them to look at truths. So a good beginning place is for them to compare things. How is this different than this? And say why. Why is this circle more beautiful than this circle? Really looking at the archetype. What makes that circle really perfect?